So, how are you going financially? This year has been a really difficult one for many of us, and in lots of different ways. So, even if you personally haven't faced the loss of income, the general uncertainty in the world has just made us feel just that little bit less secure, even around money. Hi, I'm Marianne from One Life to Flourish, and welcome to tonight's episode of Monday Motivation. It's great to see you here. Now, are you ready to start building a flourishing life? Tonight is actually my final episode about flourishing for the moment. We might come back to it next year. And I'm going to look at the importance of financial security and then just do a very quick recap of all of the different aspects of flourishing that we've talked about. Okay, now a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, if you know someone who might find this very interesting, then please invite them over to the broadcast. That would be great. And otherwise, you just need to make sure that you're actually watching the broadcast through One Life to Flourish. That's where I'm going live. That's where I can see any comments if you want to make any. We are going live in a couple of other places. So please let me know if you've got any questions as I go through. All right, so tonight what I'm talking about could also be called secure flourishing. So basically it covers financial security and material security, which if you think about it are kind of connected together, aren't they? So financial security is talking about how secure you feel in terms of all of your financial resources. Material security is actually how safe you feel, how easily you're able to access the food you need, and if you have, a stable housing situation. Hopefully we do, but of course things can change, can't they? Now, the way to work out how you're feeling about this, there's actually a couple of questions that they use in positive psychology for you to think about. So the first one is, how often do you worry about being able to meet normal monthly living expenses? Hopefully not a lot. And the second one, how often do you worry about safety, food, or housing? So the higher your response to that is, then the more it's an area that you need to work on. So the more often you find yourself worrying about it, then the less secure flourishing you're actually experiencing, obviously. So it's easy to see why our overall level of financial and material security is important. And of course, material security is really closely linked to financial security, but it's not an exclusive connection. So for example, this year, many of us, in fact, probably most of us, have at some point in time felt quite unsafe because of the threat of COVID. So even though our finances may not have been impacted, although I know it has been for lots of people, just that feeling of not being safe has really diminished our level of flourishing. Now, another example could be natural disasters, which we've also had a lot of recently. So sometimes in a natural disaster, you actually lose that connection to a stable food source, even stable water source, power, and so on, even your home. So once again, that can really impact on your feeling about security. All right, so let's have a little bit of a closer look at financial security, because obviously the better that is, then the better our material security generally becomes. And it is really important for us to just really check in with our finances. So first part, obviously, is making sure that you have a secure source or sources of income. So a job or several jobs if that's necessary, or other ways that you can get some money. So what else can you actually do though? So these are kind of my tips around trying to build your feeling of financial security. So number one, manage your expenses. Obviously, always keep an eye on where your money is going. Check in and see if you need to fix things up. Then the next part is to actually create a financial buffer fund. So you've got savings there if you need them. and then start to put money towards it. Try and reduce your debt in whatever way you can, as close to zero as you can get. And then once you've got those things in place, start to think about if there are ways that you can actually bring more money in. So can you do some kind of investing or things like that? One of the best things to do is to actually start to set some goals around how you're going to improve your finances, and that alone can actually help to boost your feeling of flourishing. All right, let's recap on what flourishing is. So we went through a few different categories. The first one was happiness and life satisfaction. Lots of things we focused on here, but definitely it's about having that positive focus on life and how we get out and enjoy things. Then we had mental health, where we really looked at lots of things once again, but gratitude and forgiveness in particular probably. Physical fitness, so moving, strength, all of those kinds of things. Meaning and purpose in our life. Why do we do what we do? And making sure we've got that. Character and virtue. So what are our character strengths? And then we looked at like community and social relationships, making sure that we're building really strong ones. And then, of course, tonight, the final part of it is actually that secure flourishing, so around our money and so on. So it does take a little bit of time to put habits to flourish into place, but it is definitely worth doing. Every little step you take towards living a flourishing life makes you feel more positive about your life. All right, so fairly quick one tonight. And just a couple of things. So first of all, for people who are in Adelaide, I do have a Christmas special on all of my healing services. So that's Access Bars, Reiki and Mind Reiki, where you can get 25% off for the rest of the month. Just a way to kind of relax and enjoy and get ready for the next year. Now, speaking of next year, I am going to have very shortly another special competition coming up, where there's an amazing prize that can get you ready for the new year. So watch out for that. And that kind of links to what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks leading up to the end of the year. I'm actually going to be focusing in on things that you can do to actually get prepared for 2021, which hopefully will be a big improvement on 2020. But there are things that you can do that are going to help you feel as though you are actually getting off to a really good start. So please join me next Monday night at the same time, and we'll go through some really helpful little tips just to kind of give you a nice positive edge to move towards the new year. So I hope you have a great week. Probably spend a little bit of time, if you can, just checking in with your finances, particularly coming up to Christmas. Make sure that you know what your financial circumstances are at the moment, and actually, have a little bit of a plan as you go into Christmas, how you're going to use your money wisely. All right, that is me for the week. I hope you have a really good week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So goodbye for now.